Hello, good afternoon, and first video I've made in 2 or 3 weeks. First things first, my husband and I have had to move into a camper, and I have to kind of walk a little bit further from here because we got a generator going, and it is super freaking loud, and I have to walk away as I don't want to talk over it. I don't know if you recall, but we're in the situation we're in now because my cousin and her friend were being selfish cunts. I swear, it feels like sometimes I've had way more grief than other women than I have my exes. I tell you, if you were to compare the two. But anyway, I'm just walking down this path. My chickens are following, my dogs are following me. So I won't have to talk over the generator. Anyway, I'm going to talk about the law of attraction. And has anybody ever been interested in this? It's some new age mumbo jumbo you might have heard people talk about in the 80s and 90s. Law of attraction. You might have even been to a workshop or a seminar or something where they talked about how your results in life always are the result of your thoughts or the energy you put out there. And yes, I'm one of those people that used to chickens are laying. I mean, we got to build them a pen eventually, but they still, anyway, never, that's neither here nor there. But anyway, the law of attraction. Hey, there's our rooster. Thought you'd get a nice shot of them. Anyway, yes, I was one of those people that used to buy into it. I don't now, for reasons I'm going to get into in this video right now. I don't know. Now, I do think there's something to be said when people get into talking about energetic vibrations and how they might affect things in life. I think there might be something to that, because when I look at what's screwed up about people nowadays, I don't know who specifically said this, but it was something to the line of, we are operating on a very low frequency. But the law of attraction. I'm going to give you an example of something I experienced. I got an invitation to go for a free webinar one day, and the woman conducting the webinar, she was talking about how the law of attraction and manifesting abundance. That's what I was trying to put out there. Manifesting abundance to help turn her life around. So I figured, what have I got to lose? I'll listen. Anyway, I just want to say, I mean, her story was interesting. Apparently everything in her life was just coming down on her at the same time. I don't know, like the bank foreclosed on her house, and her husband walked out on her, and another of other things. And it was like, and she couldn't see her way out of it. But something turned her life around. First of all, I got to say, this was a beautiful woman, no homo, but somebody was helping her out. She did mention somewhere that someone in her family helped her out in her crisis. And she also got on later on where she talked about things like, the reason you're stuck in your situation about money and in finances is because you have limiting beliefs about money. Okay, now this is not the first time I've seen this. I had a blogging coach who also, she passed away from cancer a few years ago, and she talked about this too. She talked about how limiting beliefs about money affect how much money you end up with. Do you begrudge other people who have money? That keeps money from flowing to you. Have you ever heard that? I mean, I want to debunk this because, first of all, look at the system we live under. I mean, we got a really shitty system, especially if you live in the West right now. You know how bad things are right now with the economy. Jobs are shit. AI is probably is making some jobs obsolete. Inflation's out of control, yada, yada, yada. I mean, these people that do these seminars, I mean, I don't know if they tell us, well, you got to quit dwelling on that stuff. You got to, you're bringing more negativity into your life because you're dwelling on it. But I don't know. I mean, you can't really, I mean, the reality is, this is reality. I mean, no matter what you believe in, I mean, we know things are bad. I mean, but we know the 1% at the top is controlling everything. Just like I had to do this exercise. This gal I was talking about a minute ago, we had to do this exercise where we had to sit down and spend a few minutes examining our beliefs about money. What do I think of money? Write down everything you can think of. And apparently she wanted us to do a little bit of self-examining, and are our beliefs contributing to our lack of money in our life. But we live in the West, and we know the system is shit. So, irregardless, and the whole thing about begrudging others, I don't begrudge anybody except the 1%. I mean, I live in a neighborhood, and the people next door could be millionaires for all we know, but that doesn't affect me, because not everybody who's, quote, rich flaunts it, Rich people, yeah, she had this little workbook thing. Rich people are, fill in the blank. Rich people are, sorry. I'm not mad at rich people. I don't have a beef with, quote, rich people, because everybody's definition of who or what's rich is going to be different. Rich people, quote, are not making us miserable. It's the 1% at the top that are, because they're the ones doing all this shit that's affecting us. Okay? Back to my blogging coach, Robin. I love you to the moon and back, but you know good and well there's a lot of crap going on that's affecting people. And a culture that puts money, like we have, a culture that treats money like God. I don't, I mean, think about it. You'd have to be blind not to see that. A culture that we have that worships money and material success. Are you seeing how you're not going to have beliefs that are about money that are probably not always positive or healthy? Just something to think about, So, I mean, everybody knows that. No matter what people say, money isn't everything, blah, 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 blah. Deep down, their actions are going to tell a different story. Okay? We know most people in America today know what's going on. Most people will step over their friend or relative for $1. And, but we don't we have limiting beliefs about money, and that's why we don't have money. We know that people that do make money, a lot of it most of the time, they're utterly ruthless, or they're doing things that are unethical. And no, that is not a limiting belief. That is a reflection of the culture we live in. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't mean no disrespect to anybody out there, but who's talking about this stuff, and maybe I am missing something. I don't know. But I think a lot of us are catching on. Well, I'd kind of like to hear your thoughts. What do you think about the law of attraction, manifesting money, and all that, and limiting beliefs? I don't know. Let me hear your thoughts in the comments. All right, guys. I will talk to y'all later. Bye.